Hey Guardians, Kevin here on Scrimma Games, and welcome to Game Stream, where you get your gaming news. And today I wanted to go over the update on Destiny's news page. Now this update will go live in February, and it involves tweaking some of the weapon stats, mainly for the primary weapons. Based on this picture here, auto rifles are the most used weapon in the game. That's odd to me because I rarely used auto rifles until I received exotic auto rifles, because those are actually pretty good. And it's crazy they can get all these stats about their game like this. Their goals are to have auto rifles optimal at close to medium range. Damage, stability, and range are tuned such that players desire stability for reliable close quarters damage or range for better accuracy at a distance. The changes that will be made is reduce base damage of auto rifles by 2.5%. Averaged across rate of fire stats, higher rate of fire took less of a reduction than a low rate of fire. Reduce effective range values so that damage fall-off and accuracy are a stronger factor in combat decisions. Range reduction is less severe in the higher stat values, so now your range stat is more critical to long-distance engagements. Essentially what this means is that you will have to get a little bit closer than you're used to with the auto rifles. Now, pulse rifles. Their usage is 2% in PvP and 6% in story. Pulse rifles are currently the least used, apparently. I personally like them. These are the weapons that fire a burst of shots. The goals for the pulse rifle is optimal at medium range, but can still effectively harass enemies at close or long range distances. Harass, that's a weird word to use. Rate of fire sets a pace for players to both track moving targets and then deliver precision damage in bursts. Increase base damage of pulse rifles by 9.7%. DPS is now more in line with other primaries. Hand cannons, I've rarely used a hand cannon. Until I've gotten the last word, I've never used hand cannons. I personally don't like them. But maybe I need to be more open-minded and practice with them. Goals for the hand cannon is that they need to be optimal at medium range, optimal when shots are paced, becomes less effective when fired quickly, rewards agility when under fire, precision targeting, and snapshots. The changes will be a reduction in effective range, damage fall-off starts closer to the shooter, and follow-up shots are less accurate at long ranges. Slight reduction to initial accuracy. This will be unnoticeable at close to medium range, but underscores the range intentions when used from far away. Fusion rifles, my favorite weapon in the game. Essentially, you'll need to get closer, and you'll need to pace out your shots with the hand cannon. Everybody loves fusion rifles. Who doesn't? The goals for this weapon is that be optimal at mid-range, where targets are easier to track but they're not close enough to attack while you charge up. Requires combat foresight and the ability to predict a target's movements to use successfully. The changes is the blast pattern on a fusion rifle burst cone will be a little wider. Close to medium range volleys are largely unaffected, but at a distance the projectiles are less likely to land hits on a single target. This reduces the reliability of landing a one-hit kill at far range and makes the weapon better at spreading damage into a group. A little grammar error right there. The change primarily affects the Crucible. Starting a Crucible match, you'll have less fusion rifle ammo in reserve. In PvE activities, we persistently track your ammo. We only use initial ammo values if you are logging in for the first time or starting a Crucible match. Shotguns. Who uses a shotgun in PvE? Apparently, only 1%.
I don't always use a shotgun, but when I do, it's in PvP.
But in PvP, 15% use shotguns. If you shoot your enemy in PvP and they're not dead, you can just melee them and they're dead. PvE, they're a little bit more difficult to use. Because you can't always melee your enemy, they might melee you back. The goal for the shotgun is the most optimal at very close range, complements melee attacks and other close quarters class builds. Offensively closing on an enemy with a shotgun is a risk-reward timing game. The changes, now look at this. Increase damage by 2 times 100% against all non-Guardian combatants. In other words, aliens. That will be huge. The reason I've never used a shotgun is because there are fusion rifles. If you have a fusion rifle, why would you use a shotgun, right? The shotgun is pretty much replaced by the fusion rifle. At least in PvE, if not in general. Reduce high-end range values, damage fall-off starts sooner, so Crucible players with long-range shotguns need to be a little closer for successful one-hit kills. Like the fusion rifle, initial starting ammo will be reduced across all ammo stats in the Crucible. Starting a Crucible match, you'll have less shotgun ammo in reserve. In PvE activities, they persistently track ammo. We only use initial ammo values if you're logging in for the first time or starting a Crucible match. The Scout Rifle, Sniper Rifle, Heavy Machine Gun, and Rocket Launchers will not be changed, although they said since the other weapons will be changed, it may feel like that these weapons might have been tweaked, when that will not be the case. So essentially, you'll need more ammo for fusion rifles and shotguns in PvP. You'll need to get closer to your enemy with auto rifles and hand cannons. My only concern is, since fusion rifles are my favorite weapon, how wide will that burst cone be? Because apparently it's supposed to be wide enough to hit multiple enemies. And it'll be interesting to see how powerful the shotgun is in PvE. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Click that like button if you enjoyed this. Comment and let me know your thoughts on the weapon changes. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos. Check out the links below. Follow me on Twitter if you like. And feel free to share this video and spread the news. Alright guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Peace.